call me Nighthawk.
Welcome to the Appetite for Discussion show with your host, Brandon Crouch. Tonight's show is brought to you in part by Hunk of Junk Hauling.
There it is. Now we're talking. Now we're getting somewhere.
Just spill that on.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Tonight's guest is Carl.
Take that back.
The mailman, Maree.
Maree.
Maree?
Yeah.
No, you're a Maree.
I'm a Maree tonight.
Tonight you're a Maree. Congratulations and cheers. I love it. We got a belt and a spilled beer. What? Damn,
already?
Way to celebrate.
I know. The day continues.
The day continues. So, congratulations. Like, no shit. You literally got off a boat.
Thank you.
And went to the dirt track.
Yep.
And won the Super Bowl of your racing league.
Yeah.
That's a real story.
Yeah. No, I led like 30 laps this weekend. I hadn't led all year. I didn't know what to do up front. It's easier to follow somebody. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I could go off their lines, but, you know, being out there on my own, it was freewheeling. I had on my own track. It was like I was qualifying.
Really?
But I led the heat race. That was a 10-lap heat race, and that puts you where you need to be for the main. So I won the heat race. It put me on the inside pole for the main event the next day.
Okay.
And usually it's a one-night thing. It's not a two-day event.
Well, that's what I thought, because normally you're a Saturday night racer? Or is it
Right.
Friday night racer?
No, it's Saturday night.
Saturday night, right. Okay.
So this was Saturday night and then Sunday afternoon.
So you ran the 10 laps on Saturday, the qualifier, so to speak.
Yep.
And then the
20-lapper.
The 20 lap was on
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which 20 laps throws us off because we normally run just 15-lap mains. And so I ran 18 perfect laps, and the last 2 laps about gave it away.
Well, I watched that on Facebook today, and I was like, ooh, Carl.
Yeah,
That one guy in the white car, he was getting close.
Yeah. He's good. He's got probably 100,000 laps on that track.
100,000 laps.
Yeah, he's been racing forever.
Before I forget, everyone, if you can name tonight's intro song and the title of the song and the artist, there is a giveaway. I don't know what you're going to get yet, but it's going to be epic.
Yeah.
There's definitely going to be a sticker involved.
I tell you what, I don't even know that song. I mean, I know it, but I don't know who sings
Perfect.
it. I don't know anything.
So you can't give it away?
I can't give you any hints, guys.
But leave the comment on the YouTube channel, and you're gonna love your gift.
Did you have to say pardon me while we interrupt your regular scheduled program? Or anything like that?
I kind of did, right? But I was thinking about those 18 perfect laps.
Yeah.
And I thought so you've ran hundreds, if not 1,000 laps this year, and you haven't led a damn one of them.
I've led the heat races, and the last time I led the last time I led a race, my elbow hit the damn kill switch in the car, and I killed the car on the front stretch, and everybody come flying by me. I thought that I blew the motor.
Are you serious?
I thought I blew the motor. And
Rookie.
I got, yeah, exactly. Oh, you won't believe it. We boxed in that switch, so you got to reach in there and finger it just to get it to turn off pretty much. And I was like, I don't care what you got to do. I don't care if you put a lock and key on it. I don't want to hear that damn thing anymore. Put it on the roof.
Put it on the roof, wherever.
Yeah.
But there'll be no more elbows turning the car off.
Golly. I don't know what happened. I guess I got excited then too.
I'm sure. Well, I mean, so what league is it that you race in? What's it called?
It's called Renegades. Renegades. But you can use the same metric car. Most of them are metric Monte Carlos. You know, some people chop them, put Buick or Malibu front ends on them, but for the most part, they're Monte Carlos, right?
Okay.
Then you got Camaro and Nova Leaf Springs cars, the Camaros and Novas, but mainly it's metric cars. So, but you can use that same car in a bomber class, which is a class below me, or the class above me is street stocks. And now there's another class that they invented called Southern Sportsman, which is like this unlimited motor rules. You cannot protest the motor, but if you run this motor, this motor, this motor, you have to weigh a certain weight.
Okay, so it's weight restrictions.
Right. So when you go across the scales, if you say you got this motor, you better weigh this much, or they'll protest your weight, and then essentially
because I guess a lighter car is going to go faster. Assume I don't know shit about racing. And I don't.
Right.
I know who crosses the line first at the end wins.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
No. Yeah. You're right. No. So assuming the lighter car would win the race, but on a short track, everything goes out the window because it's going to take skill to get in and out of the corner, slow down to go faster. You got to have patience. Now on a long track, you just hammer down and just sling it in there. You know what I mean? And I mean, you just don't.
Are you talking about racing?
Yeah, we don't.
I got confused.
Yeah, you don't even have to lift your big toe on the bigger tracks if you got your car set up right. You know what I mean? But the short tracks, the reason I like the short track, and I'll tell everybody to come to East Lincoln Speedway because it's the only bull ring around here, pretty much. I mean, the next closest one's in Mountain View and Boone.
Okay. Now, when you say bull ring, what does that mean?
Like a Bristol.
Okay.
Like, you have to have some, like I said, patience, but you're going to get a little bumping and grinding going on, and you can't get upset about that. You just got to stay in the gas.
Gotcha.
Now, I say that if one of the other racers was listening, he'd be like, Carl, wasn't you bitching at me about getting your quarter pound?
Well, of course. Well, because you have to fix it. Like, you have to pay, right? I mean,
right.
You're not, Lowe's isn't sponsoring you yet.
Right. But a door slam is different than a quarter panel. Like a rear quarter panel will spin you out or upset your car. If somebody door slams you, stay in the gas, then 8 wheels are better than 4. Y'all both come off pretty good.
Okay.
But if somebody gets you loose, then that's when you get pissed. You know what I mean? There's only one spot on that car that'll piss me off, and it's the left rear quarter.
The left, because it'll spin you out, right?
Well, it'll loosen me up, spin me out, wash me up, whatever you want to call it.
We just went through 17 different little racing phrases, and I'm still back at, okay, we're in the car.
Right.
We're hit the switch.
Do you need a different lens on the camera?
I don't know, but look at that belt, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you need a different lens?
I mean,
I'm pretty proud of this.
You should be. And by the way,
that
belt is heavy. I had it earlier, and it's legit. This is not the Walmart belt that I have that I wear around my house naked. So when you're and I feel like the king, baby.
You want to hold it again?
Yeah, I do, if I can.
I feel like Robin Leach is going to come over and be like, diamond encrusted championship belts. You guessed it.
Walk around and just be like, yeah, I'm the man.
Dude, all day. It was so hard to work today.
How?
Because I was just still jacked up from yesterday.
And speaking of work, this is awesome. But you get to keep this. Like, this is yours forever.
Yeah, so normally to do like
this is what
2-foot trophies.
People. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations. Super proud of you.
Yeah, everybody was going for this. They didn't care about the money. They wanted this.
Yes.
I can't blame them.
I can't blame them either. I don't know how much was the money.
$1,000.
$1,000? Yeah, I would take that every day.
And then I got protested. So.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Guy hasn't won all year. Hasn't won a lap.
Yep.
Led a lap.
Yeah. Yeah.
He comes in, hammer down.
Well, I just started doing what they were doing.
Going fast?
Yeah. They should have protested his right foot. That's what they should have did.
Some bitch got lead in it. So what did they protest? What was their beef?
They went for the motor. They protested cam, heads, and my clutch and flywheel.
Flywheel. That's also in fishing, right? A lure?
Yeah. I
got my sports mixed up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It don't matter. I'm the same way with fishing. I just throw it out there and I catch them. Same way with driving. I just get in the car and drive it. I let everybody else worry about the other stuff.
There you go.
But that's what, I mean, hell, Dad was he's like, son, you ain't doing shit. You need to get out of the tech shed and go entertain, do what you're good at. He's like, let us handle this. And I said, we're right? And he's like, yeah, we're right. We just got bonus money. Because it cost them $350 to choose 3 things on the car.
Oh, so $350 per protest?
Yeah, but you can go $900 if you want to tear it all the way down to the crank and tear up the whole motor and look at everything. But
who's tearing up the crank? Your team has to tear the crank up?
We're not letting anybody else touch it.
Well, that's a good point.
But see, when they choose 3 things, we grab towels and rags, and whatever they didn't choose that we had to pull off, we grab it with the towel and rag so they can't see it. So you only get to see what you protested. So
you don't get to see the cheating parts.
Right. Right, but we make them think that we're cheating.
Of course.
That motor's good, man. It wasn't nothing wrong with the motor.
So obviously it went through protest and no one found anything, right?
Right. Those 3 things came back legal. Actually, the cam was lesser than what we need. I mean, it was lesser than the max. So we get the cam, even if you don't know nothing about it, is a 425 lift is the max. We only had a 410. So we had a smaller cam in there.
I have no idea what you just said to me. I'm not qualified to have this mechanical conversation with you at this moment.
You just can't lay that much motor down on a short track. That's why it puts the driver back in the seat. That's why everybody that comes to race a short track, it puts the driver back in the seat. And that's why the best of the best drive the short tracks, in my opinion. Okay. Now, if there's other big track people listening, I know a few people from Carolina and Gaffney that's probably laughing their ass off. And, you come out here and do what I do, blah, blah, blah. Well, if my car's set up and I got the motor you do, I'll hammer down. I'm not going to lift. But you come to East Lincoln, it's hard.
You come to East Lincoln, he just said he's handing you your ass. Yeah. That's what I heard.
I tell him, bring it on.
Show him the belt.
Show him the belt.
You ain't got to say nothing. You just walk around. Just walk. There it is. I let my
true.
belt do the talking.
That's true. How long's the show, man? We're gonna talk. We can talk about racing the whole time. Because we can.
We can. But I find it interesting. You said you got back home. You won the race, and you said at work today. I want everyone to know who's a client of Carl's. He is a real estate agent, but this man was on the phone before the show working with the client.
Yeah.
Right. Doing the damn thing.
Yep.
So he may be the what is it? The Fall Brawl champ,
Yeah.
but he's also working.
Yeah.
You may have been on a work call while hammering down yesterday.
Right.
Just letting them know.
Yeah. And I had some clients at the racetrack.
Did you really?
Yeah. That's how I get half my client base. I like to help them out because they're from my hometown and they're interested in what I'm interested in. And, things like that. But yeah, I tell everybody I work 9 to 9. And if it's really important, I put offers in at 11 o'clock at night.
You got to. It's funny. I had a real estate agent on my last show. Yeah, she works for Keller Williams. Her name's Jill Gallagher.
Jill.
Jill. You know Jill?
Yeah, we go way back.
Well, hey.
Car seats. No, I didn't know Jill. I did read your blog about her, and I was like, it's some competition. How's she doing out there? I hope everybody's doing good.
Yeah, I would say in the 0 to 10, she's an 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's doing great.
She's doing awesome.
She's killing it.
Yeah.
Slaying it.
Yeah, and I'm still...
But she's been in the business 12 years.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so, and cool. she was not a real estate agent originally. She worked in an orthodontist office for 10 years. And a friend of hers said, hey, I'm going to start flipping houses. I'm going to get my real estate license. She was like, that sounds great. I'm going to do it too. She did it, killing it. Him, never did it.
Never did.
No. But it's interesting that it's just random dumb luck that I had a real estate agent on and you're here. Because I actually had a guest on in between you two, but he couldn't make it.
So my story, my back was kind of against the wall.
Really?
I quit my job, didn't have another one lined up, sitting on the couch, just hanging out, doing all kinds of shit. Don't tell everybody.
Don't worry, there are only 7 people listening to this thing. So.
Well, we might get some more listeners.
I hope so.
But it just kind of opens your eyes, and you're like, man, I had a sales job that I quit. Mm-hmm. And I was landing accounts. I was doing good, but you don't see the reward in that. And then corporate steps in and steals the account from you. And you're like, damn, I just did all this work for 6 months and try to land this account and finally got them on board, finally got them to trust me. And then corporate steps in and said, oh, you can't use this company. And I'm like, well, damn. And so anyways, it just wasn't rewarding anymore. And that's what made me quit so abruptly. And they were about to take me off salary and put me on straight commission. And then I was like, damn, if I want that low of money, I'll just be a school bus driver or something.
Damn.
And so my back was against the wall. My best friend, one of my best good friends, Nick Harmon, he was in it for like a year and a half or so. And he invited me out to one of their team outings. And, they was like, all you got to do is pass this test. All you got to do is like made it sound easy.
Well, right. Everything's just pass a test.
Took me like 3 times to pass the test. But then again, I was in college for 7 years too. so,
that's okay.
Yeah.
You know what they call the doctor who graduates last in his class?
Yeah. What?
Doctor.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
I gave the punchline away. Sorry.
But that's all right. But anyways, yeah. So I just kind of jumped in feet first, and that's the kind of people that my boss likes. He likes the people that are grinders, have nothing else to look forward to. Their backs against the wall, and they need to do something with
You're
their
hungry.
life. Yeah, you're hungry.
Yeah.
You're hungry. So I sit down, I make 200 calls a day, whatever. I don't do that anymore.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. Now it's quality over quantity.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I get a lot of referrals and a lot of people word of mouth and stuff too, which is great.
Oh yeah.
Which is great. It's more of a split, but yeah, it's not about. Anyways, what I was getting at is not about the money, really. When you come to reality in real estate, it's I get more satisfaction in helping people, and the money comes along with it. So
it's a win-win.
Yeah, it is.
You get to feel good, you get to like what you do, and you get paid.
Right.
And you got a sweet-ass belt. God. Did you wear it today? Did clients get to see you wear the belt today?
No, I didn't want to show that off. I didn't want to let them know how good I'm doing. I always want to make them think I'm doing horrible so they feel sorry for me.
They're going to know now.
They're gonna...
The word is out.
The champ is here.
How good does that feel?
I know.
The champ is here.
Man, it does. Everybody in that class has been racing forever, and that I'm up front with. I've only been racing for 4 years. Everybody in the top 5 has probably been racing for 9, 10, 13 years. I'm thinking about the drivers in my head,
How did you get into driving? Like, I mean, you're an older, I guess for you to get into driving, you got into it later in life?
Right. No aspirations for asphalt. I mean, I would try it if someone gave me a ride and said, hey, check this out, see if you can do it. Yeah. I would definitely hop in there, someone else's car, someone else's money, but I would never get in that game. But Dad got me into it, dude. I'm telling you, since I was 5 years old, since I was in kindergarten, first grade, I had a racing go-kart or some form of a go-kart.
Okay.
And I was racing at 11 and 12 years old. Got out of it. It was just too much for Dad to do it by himself. So I got out of it 11 and 12 years old. You know, all this time goes by. You get older, you start making your own money. My whole family, my uncle, my cousins, everybody, we all started buying go-karts. We Dad had a go-kart track from back in the day. And actually, the funny story behind that is the guy who built East Lincoln originally, Ralph Nance, I guess 32 years ago, 27 years ago, something like that. Dad made the track in our backyard under the power lines. Ralph Nance used to come, puff his big cigar, pop up his chair, bring his old buddies or whatever, and watch Dad build that track, make the track, get go-kart drivers over there. There was roughly, I remember watching Dad and his friends.
Yeah.
There was roughly like 17 to 20 of them every weekend over there. And, you know, just having fun, different classes or different groups of them racing. Anyways, that Ralph Nance guy built that East Lincoln track based on Dad's track. It's shaped
So
like,
your dad was the
like,
blueprint, basically.
Pretty much. And it's a fun story to tell because nobody realizes that, but we live right on the back stretch of East Lincoln, right through the woods, down the power lines. We live a half a mile. If something ever happened to my trailer, I could drive my race car over the track. Now, all the state troopers probably had be an uproar, but hey, they know me and they let me out of plenty of tickets. So they let me out of that one.
They can't hold the champ down.
Yeah, right. I've been waiting to just grab this thing. No, I don't want to boast, but damn, I mean, it takes forever. I mean, we try to get tenths of a second in the shop, and we look up to these guys that are whooping our ass. You know,
Sure.
Consider them mentors, and there's so much camaraderie in the pits. It's
Really?
unbelievable. Yeah, you wouldn't even think
I'm
it.
so disappointed in that.
Yeah,
Because
you wouldn't believe it, man.
I used to love watching that show Madhouse on A&E or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So my 30th birthday, how awesome is this? My 30th birthday, they were like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "I want to go to the Madhouse." So
That was like last year, wasn't it?
I wish. No. 8 years ago. We went up there and watched a race because I thought that show was awesome. And it's just up to what, Sand Trap? No, what's it called?
What was that?
Sandy Hill? It's right outside of Winston.
God, if you didn't say it, I could think of it.
Well,
No,
someone
it's
can
the
leave it on the comments.
Bowman Gray.
It's Bowman Gray Stadium, but they all live just outside of there.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
and they would talk shit,
Yep.
and then it'd be in that, you went to the fish camp or the restaurant, and be like, "I hate that son of a bitch." You know, what was that one guy's name? Tom the Rocket or whatever. And they would go into everybody's garage and film and talk. And then, they would be throwing, this is legit. When I went, they were pissed. Like, the people
Really?
in the stands, yes, there was a scuffle and a fight in the stands when I was there. It was
Lord.
great
Oh, Lord.
because they were talking shit about their driver, and you didn't do that. I mean, they take it serious, and I like it. I appreciate
There was
that.
a fight Saturday during the heat races.
At your event.
The heat races don't pay any money, right? Two of the best drivers got tangled up, and it got the fans rowdy, and they started fighting each other.
Is there drinking involved at the racetrack?
Yeah. It's
love
BYOB, man.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So you can bring whatever you want. You can set up a keg in there if you want to.
Right. And there's no liquor bottles, no glass liquor.
No,
But we
right,
pour-
'cause it
we
could
don't
be-
pour them in water bottles. We don't.
You would never do that.
And I drink after the races, not before.
Correct.
Right.
Right.
Somebody tried to tell on me or something, saying I had a beer before a
Well, they
race.
try to assume that you did.
Right.
They didn't tell on you because that would be
Right.
that would be truthful.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
What they did was they assumed Carl
Oh, yeah.
was partaking prior
right.
to.
Well, you sit up with the wrong crowd and you have a can in a koozie, they assume.
Well, it's like my mama said: if you lay down with the dogs, you get up with fleas.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty fucking good. That's good, man. Oh, I ain't heard that one.
So
I'll use that one.
I like the fact, and I'm embarrassed and sorry to say that I've yet to make it to one of your races. I vow, Kristen and I say every year we're going to make it to one of Carl's races.
Well, now you got
But we
kids
haven't.
involved.
Well, I know, but they may enjoy it.
I think they
They don't like loud noises. They love the lawnmower, but they
Mm-hmm.
call it the mon loader. Yeah, they get the words backwards. But let Daddy crank that thing, and they're like, "Oh!" And they're running for the house. But they love, man. All I see is their little heads above the windowsill when I'm mowing the backyard, and they're like, "Daddy!" They're just watching me go back and forth.
How old are they now?
Two.
Both
Yeah,
of them?
both up. Yeah, they're twins.
Oh, yeah, that's
so
right. That's right.
they turned two at the same time.
Do we
Carl.
know each other?
Acquaintances?
Acquaintances. Yeah,
Right.
that's
A few times we'll see each other.
Yeah. Only when we're drunk. What?
Well, there's
Well, we're
usually
getting there.
parties and drinking involved.
Yeah.
Which is
Celebrations.
yeah. You know what though? We're always around each other to celebrate.
Yeah. It's always a good time. It honestly is.
I think so.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And thanks for coming on too.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
welcome. All right, I'm out of here.
Not yet. So, but to get back to the racing,
Yeah.
So you were saying that this season had been quite disappointing for you. Like you hadn't led a lap, you had some issues with your car. It's just been kind of crappy.
I bought a monkey, a stuffed animal monkey, and
This is real?
Yeah.
Okay.
I bought it from a gas station for like $7.99, and I tied it around my neck and walked around the stands. And they were like, "You got a monkey on your back?" I said, "Yeah, I know." That's the pun. But
Have you watched me this season?
yeah, exactly. Well, this is the first season we went through 3 blown motors, and 2 of them were brand new.
How does that happen?
It could be anything.
Okay.
It could be anything. I'm not going to point any fingers or anybody that knows people who build our previous engines, but it comes down to a couple thousandths of something, and it hits something else, and then everything just go haywire from there.
Is that not crazy though? Real quick, you said it comes down to thousandths of something that
Of an
can
inch.
blow a
Yeah.
motor, and you guys are in there grinding and tinkering and wrench turning and trying to do the math and scratching your head and your ass and
Yeah.
drinking a beer, trying to get a tenth of a second.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, do people get that?
No, and that's
This isn't just your dumb ass getting in a car,
right.
And going.
That's
you
why I'm
know?
glad we're talking about it, because it's more than just getting in the car and going left. It's hours in the shop every week and trying stuff. And then when you try stuff, you're like, hell, that worked out great. We're just as fast as the leader. Well, guess what? The next week, it's a different temperature. It's a different moisture in the track. It's different everything. So you might change your tire pressures. You might change the spring. You might change your whole damn setup just for that one. And then you got to write it down. You're like, okay, it was 68 degrees that night, and they wet the track twice, and we raced third. We didn't race first. We raced fifth. We didn't race third. Like,
All that stuff factors in.
yeah, there's 6-7 classes that race, and they randomize it every week. So I could race first, I could race fifth, I could race last, and you got to set up the car for whatever track you assume you're going to get. And then you got a gear in the back of the car. I could run a 650 gear or 700 gear or everything in between, and the bigger that gear is, the quicker it is, the little wow wow on the pedal, the quicker the car breaks loose. But you want a faster gear if it's got a lot of tackiness in the track, because you can stand it, it'll tack up and you can launch. But if you put a different gear in on a dry slick track, your ass is flipping pizzas in there. You know what I mean? So I mean, you just don't know what to do. And I'm only a 4th year in, and all these other guys got all this experience. You're like, yeah, I know what to do on this track. Yeah, I'm gonna set it up. I'm gonna take this out, put a little wedge in, whatever you want to do. And I'm sitting here like, we're doing tire pressure. We're trying to add some bite. We don't know we're just flying by the seat of our pants sometimes.
Well, how could you not? I mean, you just said a whole bunch of shit, and I have no idea. I got the pizza flipping part.
And I got a brake bias in the car. I can dial the brakes to the front. I got to dial it to the rear.
When you do this, I mean, you're really, for those at home, he's using his wrist. Like,
Yeah.
you really dial it?
Where's the camera? I'm not
You're
doing
not
the
saying feed
Zeke. I'm
me.
not doing the Ezekiel Elliott. Or what. I'm not doing that.
So you really have to crank or turn something manually.
There's a brake bias. It's a little rod that comes out and it's bent in like a little 90-degree angle, and I grab it, and it's
Kind of
right,
like on your lawnmower.
right.
when you- yeah.
And it's right above the gear shift, and I'm going 75, 80 miles an hour, whatever East Lincoln takes, but it's a quick. That don't sound fast, but when your eyes get peeled back because you're going quick off the corner,
Yeah, sure.
and then you got to set up for the next corner, it's going to be there in 5 feet. It feels like, and so I'm coming off because like I said, the track's shaped like an egg, right?
Yep.
So I'm coming off of turn 2, and I might turn it to the rear, get some more rear brake for a tighter turn, and I come off this turn, I might dial it back to the front all in the same lap. And then I got to figure out how many turns I'm in, and the caution comes out, and I'm like, okay, I'm all the way to the front, let me back off a little bit, and then figure it out from there. But as the track gets drier, you want more front brake. If it's got a little more tackiness, you can stand to use a little rear brake. But then I got to figure out, okay, my tires grew on this side probably a little more, so I got an inch stagger, or I got D-stagger. There's all different shit with the tire size of stagger.
That is nuts.
It's just everything. Like even my girlfriend now, Kylie, she come out there for the first time 3 or 4 weeks ago. She'd never been, and she was just listening to me and my crew chief and my dad talk to each other.
It's a different language.
And she was like, I cannot believe, like you said, you cannot believe that you don't just hop in the car and just drive it, and you're just out there making left turns. And I was like, it's so much more than that. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And then on top of that, you're spending, countless amount of money. Dirt track's cheaper than asphalt.
Okay.
But I mean,
But you still.
So my tires might last 10 races, if I take care of them, which is great, because asphalt, they go through 5 sets of tires in one race. It costs them, you know.
Get out of here.
I don't even want to think. It costs. I think someone told me they spent $100,000 in tires in one race because they went through 8 sets. And my tires cost $125 a piece, and I want them to last 10 races unless somebody gets into us and pops them. And then I get a new tire.
How many races are there in a season for you?
I think there's like 26 to 32.
So you might go through 3 sets of tires, maybe. If you're running at the 32.
If nobody gets nobody gets into us, somebody might get to you in a heat race, and that don't even pay any money. The heat race, you got to make at least one lap in the main to get $40.
So you really need your sponsors. They're crucial.
Right.
What you're not having to pay for out of your pocket.
My sponsors are crucial.
You can definitely plug them if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, give them a shout out.
Comfort Specialist, that's Jason Burleson. That's Heating and Air HVAC off of Highway 16. Evans Remodeling Inc. Me and him help each other out in real estate, you can imagine.
Oh, I'm sure.
And that's my crew chief, too, Drew Evans. He does great work. Just started his own business this year, and he's hit the ground running, does great work. That's Evans Remodeling Inc. I would say J&J Services, but they split, and now my buddy James Davis does his company's County Line Forging, and he forges hammers, knives, swords.
Really?
All kinds of crazy shit, man. He made the lead. It was perfect, too. We had all this lead sitting around. He melted down the lead and made lead, because if you don't, I'll elaborate a little bit. So
the lead that went that right foot to win the race.
Right. Yeah, I had it strapped to my top of my foot. Strapped to top of my foot so I don't let off. You got any more beer?
There could be. We're not sponsored, but we do have some.
Well, do we got to cover it up? I'll keep it below the table.
I don't know. We do this for the law dogs.
The low dogs. Shit. Oh.
No, you're fine. This is internet TV.
Anyways, the lead placement on the rear of the car all the way up to the front of the car has to be strategically placed to add certain bite to certain corners of the car when I'm going down a straightaway versus the corner. And for people that just get into racing, they're like, yeah, man, I want to get in there. That's usually the people who are, you know, if they don't have any knowledge or any help, that's the guys floating around the top 10, like the back of the 10, on the other side of the 10. You know, in my first year racing, I was consistently 8 through 12. And I never got in top 5, but 2 races I finished in top 5 my first year. And I was top 5 in points my first year.
That's great.
That means that I just stayed in there every race. I finished every race, you know. And I've been in top 5 every year except for, not last year. Last year I got 2nd place in points. Yeah, and this year I'm 4th in points. But I won the biggest race of the season. Just want to remind everybody that.
If you didn't know, the man has a belt.
But anyway, yeah, if they can see this. Put your lenses on. But anyways, my 2nd year, we had 2 head-on collisions, put me out for 14 weeks. Thank God, because I might have been concussed for like 3 days after one of them.
So you said put you out for 14, put your car out of commission.
Right.
For 14 weeks? Hell, that's...
Because I did it twice. They got it fixed.
Well, if you're going to do it right.
Well, they got it fixed in 3 weeks. I came back out there, raced 1 week, and the week after that 1 week, I had another head-on collision and just destroyed everything.
So speaking of, and you said you could have been concussed, and you probably were, they probably don't have the Hans device for you guys.
They do.
They do?
It's available. Golly, if Dad or Mom watches
required.
It's not required in my class or any class for that matter.
Okay, but NASCAR, it is required.
It is. It is required in NASCAR. And I can get a used one. I know where I can get a good used one, and it works just as good. And I should have one. And the times just everybody needs to know these cars are safer than the cars you drive on the road.
Yeah, but shit happens, man.
They got roll cages, everything.
Yeah.
And I'm totally protected. Those 2 head-on collisions, I just felt the impact. I did not get hurt.
But your head was still snapped. Is there anything controlling the noodle, you know, the noggin up there?
I saw it coming. I saw it coming.
You know who didn't see it coming? Dale.
Yeah.
So come on. You know. Oh, great. Now you've got to have one. You've got to have one. Carl, what's wrong with you? You got to have one.
Dale was protecting Michael Waltrip's ass is what pisses me off about all that.
Well, fair enough, but you still need to work. Okay. Now, this is the parent. Carl, you got to have one. How much are they?
$600 brand new.
$600 brand new. Maybe one of your sponsors can help you out.
If I could finish shouting out my sponsors.
Sure.
So nobody gets forget. My sister owns Dance Specialties in Belmont, and she is a top 25 school on the East Coast. And for being how small she is, they win a lot of trophies.
Do they really?
Yep.
Good for her.
Trophy. It takes a while to get that top 25 spot. And I may be fibbing a little bit because at one point she did tell me she was on her way to being in the top 25, and now I just assume because she ain't stopped winning.
Well, there you go.
But anyways, it takes a while. It takes years and years and years for them to consider her, in that ball game or that realm, whatever you want to say. But anyways, I do give a shout out to Jeremy Coffey. You say he's coming on the show.
He will be here, in 2 weeks.
So he runs. We give him a little plug. He runs that Good Souls Foundation, helping homeless men transition into the workforce, and we, support him and getting steel-toe boots to the homeless men who are making that transition. And he does a lot of good things with that foundation. And I told him to give me a sticker, and I put it on my black car, and it stands out really good on the trunk. And but I always like to wear his shirt and give them a shout out every time. And I do feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but
you are. There is an Appetite for Discussion shirt that you now own.
Yeah.
So
I need to give Appetite for Discussion stuff. So you said this is nationwide.
Julius, you want to pipe in here about the bandwidth that the States Vegas radio station has? He was saying, "Is this nationwide?" I mean, actually,
it's not really bandwidth; it's the World Wide Web.
Right, we're
internet radio.
Okay,
we're international.
Yeah.
We're listening to it
worldwide, prestigious, worldwide.
Appetite for Appetite for Discussion. You caught me sleeping over here. The Appetite for Discussion show airs at 8:00 on Friday.
8:00 on Friday night. So it's real. So if you're not watching it on the YouTube or listening to it, you can tune in to the States Vegas Radio at 8:00 on Fridays and listen to it. Okay. It's real easy. You can just go to the on your smartphone, go to the App Store, type in States Vegas Radio, download the app. It's free. Boom, there you go.
It's a free app.
It's a free app.
Yeah. It's a no-brainer. Available at the App Store or Google Play.
Right.
Or you can do statesvegasradio.com and listen to it
on your desktop or laptop or something like that.
Now, is everybody kind of doing the random thing like you are? You just want to find somebody interesting or somebody that you think that people would listen to and just generate some interest, or
anybody around here?
Well, just
not that I know of.
Internationally,
there's a lot of podcasts out there.
Oh yeah, there's a ton.
There's a ton. Medium.
I would say that I'm not unique, but maybe unique in the area. Maybe I don't know.
You're a good talker. Idea. You're pretty interesting. You make me laugh.
That's because I'm short.
You always got the best dressed costume in the Halloween parties.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, well,
for the most part, I'm always like looking forward to trying to beat your ass in that. And
I try not to win because I can't win my own Halloween party. Right. That's kind of a dick move.
I know, but the host looks the best, and you're like, damn it.
I know. Are you talking about my wife? She does look good.
Yeah.
Last year, that glow in the dark skeleton thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was like a dog trying to break a logging chain. Sorry, honey. But no, this year is going to be good, man. We're going to really turn it up.
Okay.
We're going to be out of town a lot, but we've already started decorating. Okay. You're coming, right?
Yeah. When is it?
You've not RSVP.
When is it?
Motherfucker.
Is it October 27th?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
So it'll be...
Oh, go ahead and say you've already got something. Go ahead and wear your belt somewhere else. See if I give a damn.
Well, you're gonna feel bad if I tell you what I got to do.
Oh, here we go.
I had a good friend of ours who comes to races all the time. He's young 40s. He's in his young 40s. Had an open heart surgery, and we're having like a barbecue benefit for him because both of his girls. You don't realize how
on the 27th.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's during the day.
Okay.
I think so.
Well, this runs to 7 to midnight. So.
Man, there's no excuses.
Not for you.
I just come with the buzz.
And leave
Get an Uber.
It does exist in Statesville, believe it or not.
Oh, does it?
Yes. I've Ubered to multiple things.
You know, there's one guy called Nighthawk in the Bandy's territory.
Is that really his name? Is his name really Nighthawk?
Nighthawk.
Shut up.
No, you call him and he'll be there. I've left Horse Feathers many a times.
I'm sorry. You've left where? Is there a place called Horse Feathers?
Yeah.
Is this real?
Yeah.
Are you messing with me?
No, I'm not.
Where is Horse Feathers?
Cheryl's Ford.
And it's a bar called Horse Feathers.
Yeah, it's right on the lake too. In a cove.
Why have I not been there?
I don't know, brother.
I've been missing out.
They got good food. And they always have a band. And there's just some crazy ass people there.
It's called Horse Feathers. How could it not be epic?
It's been there for a while. Got a little tin roof says Horse Feathers across the top of it. Horse Feathers. I caught that too. Catch your ear. Is there any editing in this?
No, we're live, and I mean, not live, but no, we don't edit. I don't do anything.
We cuss on here?
Yeah, I mean, we can do whatever we want.
I don't want to cuss. I don't want to cuss. I got girlfriend's mom going to be watching.
I don't want to cuss. I don't want to cuss. Shit.
Earmuffs. Damn.
That's one of the things I tell everybody. Come on, it's not scripted. I mean, I have no script. I don't.
Awesome.
We just sit here. We have a conversation, just like two buddies have a beer, and we just let the conversation roll. We go wherever because the whole premise of several things. You know, people don't talk anymore. You know,
Right.
people don't have a discussion. We text, or you see people in a restaurant or in the airport, and they're stuck in their phones and they're not talking to one another. But
true.
yet, you can learn so much from either your friend or a total stranger.
Yeah.
You know, and just because you may also have a different political belief than I do doesn't mean that we can't talk. Or
Right.
I may not be able to be open to your point of view. I
Right.
may not agree with you, and it may
Right.
not change my mind, but I
Right.
can at least be open and listen.
Right.
And hopefully you'll do the same.
Yeah.
And, you know, because there's so many people now in the climate that we're in. I mean, there's certain people that aren't going to family events because of how certain people voted. I'm not shitting you.
That's so dumb.
I know someone that's happened to.
That's so dumb.
It's ridiculous. So that's one of the biggest reasons I had this show. But also, there's a lot of interesting people out there that I know and that you know, and that we can just learn and we can talk. And
So for the younger generation, that's called networking, and that's the only way you're going to make money in this life is if you network with people. You have to be people-ish, people person.
people-ish. I like it.
People-ish.
You know that young people, like, they don't even talk. They
So
text.
wait, you're 30. You said you're 38.
I'm 38.
Sorry. Okay, I just turned 33 Saturday, right?
God, 33.
Up top. Damn, you look good. God,
Thank
damn, you look good.
Well, it's my height. Right.
They don't want to climb that tree.
They don't want to climb this tree. That's right.
No, what I was getting at is that, you know, everybody assumes I'm born in 85. I'm right on the cusp of that millennialism or whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
But I didn't get a cell phone until I was damn 16, and it was a Nokia.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know what I mean? And it was just for safety. Like,
Sure.
you know what I mean? And I get in college, and now I got this, you know, text and these apps, and I don't know what to do. Somebody had to show me how to use. I mean, like, I'm right on the cusp of that, but you know, our phones are very useful for all kinds of things like maps and everything at our fingertips that you don't have to, like, I talked to a 75-year-old real estate agent, and they were like, you guys got it made. We had to go deliver keys. We didn't know how to get there. We had to draw a map. We had to figure out stuff on our own.
Yeah.
And now everything's at our fingertips. But to your point, they had a great commercial that just came out. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was about texting and driving. And it showed a bunch of people walking and texting and running into poles,
Yes.
tripping over benches. And they were like, you can't even walk and text. How are you going to drive and text?
That's a great.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now I just activate the, well, we all got it, but the voice text on your phone.
Yes.
So if I'm driving down the road, I can just talk in
Right.
my phone. And granted, you know, it might screw up some words.
Sure.
But I'd rather have a couple screwed up words and let someone else decipher it than
Right.
my ass going down the road and hit something. You know
Well,
what I mean?
you know, I drive a lot and I'm in traffic all the time, and I try to voice text as much as possible. I've really tried to make a habit of not texting while driving. I'm not 100%.
Can you imagine what that thing does to my accent?
Oh.
Voice texting.
Yeah, I mean, I sound literally like I can barely put two words together anyway.
Yeah.
But when I'm relying on Siri to send something to someone, I'm
can't
like,
trust that bitch.
and I can't trust her, but I also can't proofread what because
No.
now I might as well just text it.
Right.
So I have to hope and pray that
Right.
what I'm saying she gets.
Right.
And so many things she just jumbles up, man. She
Oh,
just
yeah.
I sound like an idiot. So for everyone who
Do what?
gets receives a text message from me, is like, what is this moron? How he
Allegra.
Allegra. They let him have kids?
What them kids doing outside?
Most of it is voice text.
Yeah.
And I should probably start putting that little disclosure at the statement at the end of the
Yes.
text. This is a voice text. Please excuse any grammatical errors or blah,
That's
blah,
a good
blah.
idea, Bill Gates.
Yeah. You
that
should be
in
able to
there,
put
automatic.
it in you should be able to put it in voice text mode. You should be able to tell your phone voice text mode. So at the end of every text, there is that disclaimer letting them know that you're sending it. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
did we just invent something?
I think, yeah. Can we get
Trademark
a
that.
percentage of that?
Yeah,
Julius,
just-
wake up. Put a percentage on. Go ahead and lock that in.
I don't realize.
Hashtag it.
Hashtag. We just invented something and are rich.
And you know what's funny is when you're doing it, you can't listen to rap music because it's thrown in some extra words in there.
You
know?
can't.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Raise some eyebrows. So,
Raise some pulses too.
right. Yeah.
That's right. You can't
Yeah.
say that.
And some of it makes you go 6 to midnight. You never know.
Careful now, but the mumble rap ain't gonna pick that shit up anyway.
I know, right?
No, not at all.
Not these days.
So I want to get back to your real estate stuff. Though.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have been in real estate. You said for how long?
Oh gosh, I hope nobody's listening. They got a lot of trust in me.
That's okay.
No, I'm just kidding. No, it'll be 2 full years in November, but I didn't make my first sale until March of 2017.
Okay.
But I got in. I was official 2016 November.
So you're right there on the cusp then of where most people are a real estate agent. Excuse me, if I understand this right, for 2 years.
Either they flunk
or they make it.
Yeah.
Right. So you're right there on the bubble.
So 98% of real estate agents quit within their first year and a half.
See there, that's what Jill was saying last week. You see what with the information and the knowledge we're giving these people?
Yes.
See? The knowledge. What's that knowledge? Starts with a K.
Stop me. Thank you for a second. No, and I had, and this is a shout out to Jill or whoever is big up there, but I've had other real estate companies reach out to me and try to recruit me. And I'm sure that's normal, but they all know how many closings I've had. Like they're like, oh, your first year you had 15 closings. And supposedly that's good. And then your second year, you're like, damn, you're on your way to having 30 closings. They're like, damn, that's pretty good. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm not leaving the people who taught me how to do this.
Well,
like,
you're a loyal guy, right?
Like, yeah, I'm loyal to my firm.
Yeah.
No matter what. No, I mean, shout out to Mike Spazzato and Rob Cassim, Carolina Realty Advisors. I mean,
Boom.
Come to them because them guys know what they're doing and they taught us the right way. They take time to train you in sales and how to get these people. You know, you're not going to teach me how to get somebody to trust me because that's something you can't teach. But they can teach you how to adjust to everybody's certain situations because everybody's different. Everybody's unique. You know.
They can help you fine tune some skills.
Right.
Right.
I've had people that you wouldn't even know they're sleeping on their mom's couch, but they got money, or they're cramped up in an apartment and they're tired of paying rent.
God, I would love to be sleeping on my mom's couch, but be filthy rich.
I know. I sold cars for 3 weeks. Nobody knows.
Did you really?
Sold cars for 3 weeks. Had a guy walk up in his overalls with a damn McDonald's bag full of money. And he was like, "Oh, you want to sell me a car? I'll talk to this guy." Well, hell yeah! Sold a Mitsubishi Galant or what? Some stupid Mitsubishi car.
But how did he?
Guy wrecked it at a gay bar the next week. But
was it really?
No, I'm just kidding.
That's a hell of a story, though. Should have just stuck out with
it.
Good. He showed up in his overalls, wrecked his car at a gay bar. It's like
somebody
like a punchline.
Somebody backed into him. He tried to return it. I'm like, no, it's yours. That really happened though.
I don't think you heard the words that you said. You should replay what you just said.
Julius, run it back. I've only got one earphone working. Run it back in the same ear that I'm hearing him.
It was a perfect joke, by the way. I don't think you meant to do that, but it nailed it.
Oh, he backed into it. Oh, I got it.
Right.
He really did.
Yeah. Received it.
Yeah. And then tried to return it. Anyway,
we digress.
Yeah,
but that's who we are.
No, real estate is a blessing, but obviously at some point in time that pendulum is going to have to swing back.
Right.
And I'm going to have to learn how to save money. But when you dump $3,500 a motor for every motor you blow up, I mean,
that's how much it is. $3,500 a motor.
It's really $2,800 in my class if we put it together ourselves. If we want it put together, it goes up to like $4,000.
So one thing I did want to ask about real estate real quick. So let's say that you sell. Let's do easy math.
Yeah.
Let's say you sell a house for $100,000. Okay. So the real estate agent, you get 6%. You don't.
That's a common
misconception. Right?
Did Jill tell you about this?
No, I forgot to ask her.
You did?
We were actually in the interview, and I said I meant to. There's something I want to ask you, and I shit the bed, and I don't remember what it was.
So
afterwards, this was it.
We're probably not allowed to say this, but normality is 6% total. So it's
total
3% to each agent.
But out of your 3%, so let's say that out of that 100,000, you get 3. That's $3,000 to you. Right, and $3,000 to their other agent.
Yeah,
but don't you have to pay?
I got to pay my own taxes. Uncle Sam, I got.
You can pay taxes, but don't you have to pay something to your real estate company too?
Right. So there's a cut to them, and it depends on whether and every firm is different.
Yeah, sure.
Every firm's different.
But there's a percent. You don't have to say the percent.
I'm not going to say the percent. I'm not going to say the percent. But every firm's different. So here's where it becomes different: is if my firm paid for that lead. And that lead came to me because my firm paid for it on Realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia, Redfin. They bought that lead, and they were looking for a home. They were clicking away. Well, that lead came to me and said, hey, they're looking at this house, whatever. 99% of the time, the house they're clicking on, they're not going to get. You know what I mean? So that's why when you call them, it's not a sales pitch. I'm genuinely concerned about why you're clicking on this house.
Gotcha.
Why do you like this house? What's going on in your life that you need to move or buy or sell or whatever, right? That's what I'm digging for. But so to your point, if the firm pays for the lead, then yeah, it's a bigger split on my commission. But if I generate the lead, then it's a lesser split, and I get to keep more of the money.
Right.
But thank God, well, not to step and piss anybody off, but thank God Trump came in and lowered the taxes, because I was paying 22% on my taxes. Now I'm in the 14 to 16% range.
Right.
And a person who's commission based only has to play those percentages. You know what I mean?
Well, sure. But I think a lot of people think, oh, well, they're a real estate agent. You're selling $500,000, $1 million houses every day.
Yeah.
Right.
But
right.
if you're grinding,
right.
I'm helping someone down my road sell a $99,000 house.
Right.
And then I also sold a $650,000 house in Skybrook.
Right.
On the golf course. So you know what I mean? And I'm not privy to anything. Like, hell, if it's going to make me money and I'm going to help them out at the same time, why not?
Sure, but that tax break helps you, because these guys over here grinding are still getting that 24% or whatever it was, right? Who are selling the 100,000 or 150,000, right? So that's a big hit for them. That's a lot. Plus, if it's a lead that comes from the firm, right? But think about all the time that you spent on that client.
Yes, a lot of people don't understand.
And when it comes out to not very much, like say per hour,
right? And if it takes me 2 or 3 months, or to find them a house or sell their house, that breaks down. And that's why you need to keep stuff in your pipeline. Excuse me. I think it's coming out too.
Different pipeline.
Yeah.
That one's full.
But yeah, that's what I had to release. But yeah, so if I sell a $150,000 house, and I created the lead, it's the same split as the firm giving me a lead for a $300,000 house.
I got you.
If you think about it like that.
I got you.
And it's really hard for people who's bought and sold properties and done it multiple times, but maybe they haven't done it in 5 to 8 years, and a lot of shit has changed.
Sure.
And then they don't trust me because, well, last time I did it, I don't need you. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, we'll do it on your own. See, and I'll call you every 2 weeks until you're ready.
What do you think about the people who try to sell their house, like you said, maybe for sale by owner?
Well,
that's hard, right?
So look, I just came from a listing appointment.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the person I was on the phone with. That was another listing I got.
Working them.
The listing appointment I just came from. What'd you ask me? Wait, what'd you say?
The for sale by owner.
Yes. Okay. So their neighbor just put their house on the market. And they were like, well, why do we need you? Why can't we just do that? I said, well, let me ask you something. I said, what are they asking? And they told me. And I was like, okay. I was like, how long has it been on the market? And they were like, oh, this is 5th time putting it on the market. Oh, so do you have that much time, or do you want to waste that much time? I mean, this is why you get a real estate agent, is my last 3 listings have sold in less than 2.5 days.
Whoa.
Yeah.
2.5 days?
That's the market too, but at the same time, if I can get them to let me price it just below the market, it starts a feeding frenzy with all these buyers. For every one house, there's 20 or hundreds of buyers.
2.5 days? I can't get a call back from the doctor in 2.5 days.
Right. But I mean, these are not just small houses. I have one in South Charlotte, or down in the Pineville area, and it was a $230,000 house, and it went in a day. God. Yeah.
So the market's different.
Yeah, well, it's a seller's market right now.
Right.
But that's not to scare the buyers away. All my buyers are under contract or closed on a house. And I'm not going to tell my secrets, but I can get my buyers under contract in multiple bid situations, and there's certain ways to do it. And a lot of these other agents are like, well, we're going to, they kind of, I still tell my clients, but they kind of maybe pitch it a different way, or maybe don't tell them up front, this is what has to happen. Like, I tell my buyer clients, I say, this is a tough market for you guys. I let them know up front.
Yeah.
And I say, but this is how we're going to do it. And I said, don't worry about the money up front. We want a clean contract. I can always go back. Once you're under contract, I can always go back and negotiate some money for you.
Sure.
And if it, it may work out, it may not work out in that aspect. But at the same time, if you really want this house, you want to live here, this is what you got to do. And if they're on board with that, I can get my buyers under contract too in multiple offer situations.
Damn.
But being on the sell side of this, I don't want to say it's easier, but it's and it's not less work. It's just I don't know what's the word for it. I mean, it's
don't look at me. I got a vocabulary of 3 words, and one of them's an F-bomb.
Right.
So I can't help
It's not necessarily easier. It's just the buyers come to you when you have a listing.
They're drawn to you,
right?
So you don't have to go out there,
right?
Yeah, they're led to you somehow,
right? Must be marketing. Must be the way I market the properties.
Maybe it could be your just inner chi.
Right. Ooh.
Get you some of that.
Yeah, I like that.
So now is the race season to transition? I'm all over. So it's all
It's
you're
okay.
done.
I'm good.
Okay, so you're all done.
Only reason we're done is because we won.
That's right.
We're hungry, but it's been a long season.
So there
been a
are
lot
a few
of
more
work.
races left at the track. Or?
There were weeks where we pulled a motor out, dropped one in, blew it, put another motor in, pulled it out, like 3-4 weeks in a row, where we went through this mess. And then there was weeks that we were like, hey, we just got to take a week off and take care of this car. And I mean, all kinds of shit, man. It's just, but we're blessed to have the people that we have around us. Like Dad worked for Holman Moody. That's where he learned, kind of to construct an engine back in the day. Branched out on his own, him and his buddies. I don't know the full story, but one of the guys, this is really cool. One of the guys that was like a little shithead when he was getting older, when Dad was in his 30s, this guy was, in his teens or young. And he was interested in building engines, and they were all into go-karts. He taught them how to build go-kart engines. Now the guy's a freaking genius. And he comes over and helps me with setup or helps me with engines. He's the one that actually had a hand in the engine that I'm running now that's freaking flawless. I mean, it's the fastest I've ever been in. And he knows people, and this guy knows people. I mean, it's just, you got to have a good team around. You got to have people that like each other. And thank God they all like Dad, because I know some of them don't like the way I talk or my verbiage, and they're like, they always tell me, shut up, you're just a driver. You shut up, you just get in there and drive. We're going to take care of everything else, which I like, but at the same time, I'm starting to pick up on things too,
Yeah, sure.
I like,
You like that?
I like to do mine in the mic. But no, there's just, to your point, I mean, all that stuff I was talking about earlier, it's just, that's not even half of it.
Right.
That's just me in the car. Think about the engine and the springs and shocks.
This makes me want to go home and watch Days of Thunder. Right? It makes me want to go home and realize he just got in the car and he just drives it. But, you're going to run 25 laps your way?
Yeah.
My way.
And mine was 6/10 faster.
Right.
Or whatever.
And we saved the tires.
Yeah, and we saved the tires.
Right.
Dude, that's my 2 favorite movies is Days of Thunder #1, Roadhouse with
Shut up.
Yes.
That's
Roadhouse.
great.
Yes, Patrick Swayze.
You should.
I grew up on those 2 movies.
Who didn't? Yeah. Of course,
We did.
Well, I did. Of course, I was 21 when you were 5.
Right.
So, but
I got more gray hair than you.
how is it? Well,
How is that?
How is that?
I don't know.
It's the altitude.
I think it's heredity.
Hereditary. But you should come as either Patrick Swayze or Sam Elliott.
Ooh.
Or you could dress up as Cole Trickle. Oh, I know what
Cruise.
I wanted to. Yes,
I got
absolutely.
a Hot Wheels jacket.
Do you
But
really?
that's not him, though.
That doesn't
mellow
matter.
yellow. I need a mellow
It
yellow.
was. By the way, I used to have that little Hot Wheel car, the Mellow Yellow. Remember
still got
that?
it.
You still have it?
I got all of mine.
Shut up.
Yeah, we got them encased. I mean, we got them closed off in the chest. I've got over like probably 100 little toy race cars. I used to sit in the living room floor and watch movies and just have all of them out on the floor and just racing.
So when you're racing, what do you do when you have to take a piss? You hold it?
I ain't got that many laps.
I don't have that many laps.
Yeah.
Well, what do the guys in NASCAR do? Do they just piss? Do
That's
they
a
let
good
it go?
question. That's a good question. Dale Jr., will you phone in?
Yeah.
Phone in, please.
Phone in, please. Do you pee? Do you let it go and like the suit absorbs it? What do you do if you have to take a shit?
I do take a shit.
In the suit?
No, I took an Imodium before the race. I took a shit and took an Imodium pretty much for
Every race?
half the races. Yeah.
Really?
This past weekend, it was bad.
So it's funny. Well, I just come back from the Bahamas drinking and I was...
And that could have been something else from the Bahamas. I ate a lot of conch. And I said conch. No, I'm conked out. No, I'm shit. I'm damn. That's all they eat up there.
Oh, Anna. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there a lot.
Fresh catch.
Fresh catch right there on the shuck 'em.
We
do the
rented
whole thing.
scooters the last day.
That's dangerous.
And I told my buddy, I was like, damn, I could die on this thing.
You could.
And I about died 6 times.
I believe it.
I was weaving in and out of these vans. Then people can't drive, and they drive on the wrong side of the road. It's just confusing as hell.
Yeah.
And then you got people trying to hassle you from the sidewalk when you buy something, and I'm on this damn scooter.
Well, you're in a scooter that they know you're a tourist.
Right.
Right.
The dead giveaway.
It's a dead giveaway.
It wasn't my skin complexion or anything.
Or your accent.
Yeah.
Because you definitely sounded Bahamian.
I did buy some shit, though. They talked